Hello everybody, I am Smaresh Kodora. I'm here again with a interesting subject or with a question. How long was the bondage of the children of Israel in Egypt? There are many people outside there who talks of 430 and some talks of 400, and they quote certain scriptures to support their theories. And first we've got Exodus chapter 12 verse 40, which talks of the sojourning of the Israel from which was 430 years, and many of us believe that children of Israel were in Egypt for 430 years. Then we've got Genesis chapter 15 verse 13, when God told Abraham saying, your children shall be afflicted for 400 years, and there are still many people out there who believes of 430, supporting it with Acts 7 verse 6, when Stephen said, it was said on this wise that the children of Israel will be afflicted with evil for 400 years. So now we've got two numbers, 400 years and 430, and which one is correct? And today we're here to prove that neither 430 or 400 years is correct, and we shall see as we go with our lesson. Our first support that the bondage of the children of Israel was not 400 or 430 is seen in Genesis chapter 15, the same chapter at verse 13, which talks of 400 years. At verse 16, God said to Abraham, your children shall come out of Egypt in the fourth generation. And here is a clue. The children of Israel were to come out of Egypt in the fourth generation, and we know Moses was the fourth generation of fourth generation. He was the son of Amram, and Amram was son of Kohat, and Kohat was son of Levi. So the children of Israel went into Egypt while Levi was born, and perhaps Kohat was also born, and only Amram and Moses were born in Egypt. So at the end of the day, it cannot make sense to say that the children of Israel lived for 400 or 430 years in Egypt if they came out in the fourth generation. Moses died at the age of 120 years, we know, and Amram died at the age of 137, and Kohat died at the age of 133, and Levi died at the age of 137, according to Exodus chapter 6. But Levi born his son, begat his son Kohat, maybe at the age of 40, around that, and Amram also around that age, and also Moses. But to my surprise, how can it be that Amram and Moses were born within the period of 430 years, to make Moses 200 years and Amram 200 years? And it's so plausible. And another point of support that the children of Israel neither lived in Egypt for 430 or 400 years is found in Galatians chapter 3 verse 17. It tells us that 430 years was a period from the call of Abraham to the Mount Sinai, when God gave the law to Israelites. So the sojourning which is mentioned in Exodus chapter 12 is referring from the call of Abraham to the Mount Sinai. So we've got 215 years if you calculate from the call of Abraham when he was 75 years to settlement of Jacob when he was 1/3 before Pharaoh. You see that there are 215 years, and the bondage of children of Israel in Egypt was 215 up to the Mount Sinai. So we've got 430. 430 years is not referring to the bondage only in Egypt, but is referring from the call of Abraham to the Exodus. Then we've got another interesting idea. If you calculate the age of Joseph, we come to a point of understanding that Joseph was 39 years old when his father Jacob, who was 130 years old, settled in Goshen. So when Jacob was 39 years old and he died at the age of 110, we come to a point of understanding that he lived in Egypt until he died for 71 years. So now we are saying that the children of Israel didn't live the whole 215 years under bondage, yes, or under slavery. Now, if you read Exodus chapter 1 verse 8, it says, it came to pass that a king who anything about Joseph, came to power and began to make slaves out of the children of Israel. So if we calculate, we come to a point of that around 64 to 65 years are the only years when the children of Israel suffers the evil things in the land of Egypt. So friends, it's a lie to say that the children of Israel were in Egypt for 430 or 400. So we've given many proofs that the children of Israel didn't live in Egypt for 400 or 400. They lived 215, of which they only suffered for 64 or 65 years before the birth of Moses. So if you add 80 plus 64, that's the total number of their slavery. Thank you.